I am speaking here today on the assumption that I am addressing an audience consisting predominantly of liberals, that is, of my antagonists. Therefore, I must begin by explaining why I chose to do it. The briefest explanation is to tell you that in the 1930s, I envied the liberals for the fact that their leaders entered political campaigns armed not with worn-out bromides, but with intellectual arguments. I disagreed with everything they said, but I would have fought to the death for the method by which they said it, for an intellectual approach to political problems. Today, I have no cause to envy the liberals any longer. For many decades, the liberals had been the representatives of the intellect in America, if not in the content of their ideas, then at least in form, method, and professed epistemology. They claimed that their views were based on reason, logic, science, and even though they were glorifying collectivism, they projected a manner of confident, distinguished intellectuality, while most of the so-called conservatives, allegedly devoted to the defense of individualism and capitalism, went about apologetically projecting such a cracker-barrel sort of folksiness that little Abner would have found it embarrassing. The monument to which may still be seen in the corridors of the New York Stock Exchange, in a costly display of statistical charts and models proudly entitled, "The People's Capitalism." Today the two camps are moving closer and merging, just as the Republican and Democratic parties are becoming indistinguishable, so are their respective intellectual spokesmen. And while the conservatives are lumbering toward the Middle Ages in quest of a philosophical base for their views, the liberals, always the avant-garde, have outdistanced them and are now galloping on the same quest toward India of the 5th century BC, the original source of Zen Buddhism. What social or political group today is the home of those who are and still wish to be the men of the intellect? None. The intellectuals, in the strict, literal sense of the word, as distinguished from the mystics and the neo-mystics, are now homeless refugees, left behind by a silent collapse they have not had the courage to identify. They are the displaced persons of our culture, who are afraid to discover that they have been displaced by the monster whom they themselves had released, by the primordial proponents of brute force. As an advocate of reason, freedom, individualism, and capitalism, I seek to address myself to the men of the intellect, wherever such may still be found. And I believe that more of them may be found among the former liberals than among the present conservatives. I may be wrong, I am willing to find out.